Die Hard is an iconic film, from its fantastic action to the charismatic performances and great one-liners. The pacing is top-notch, and it explored its limited location to its deepest depths. Die Hard rules. But Die Hard is also the center of a yearly conversation. Is it a Christmas movie? And there are plenty of films that get sucked into that kind of debate. And because of that, I want to discuss what elements make Christmas movies, and how these non-traditional films stack up to it. Let's do this. Okay, Internet, for this one, we aren't going to be trying to answer the question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I think that conversation has been done to death. If you think non-traditional Christmas movies can be Christmas movies, then Die Hard obviously counts. Instead, we will be using that film as a template, highlighting the elements that make it a Christmas movie, comparing them to traditional ones, and seeing what other unconventional film choices meet that criteria. Cool? Cool. Now, obviously, the first criteria is having a Christmas setting. This doesn't mean that the movie is set on Christmas proper. For example, the middle part of The Santa Claus is set in between the two Christmases. Even Die Hard, the film is set on Christmas Eve, but it is also set during a Christmas party. If the movie was exactly the same, but set on like the 23rd or 22nd, I would still count it, because it is still the holiday season. Now, this criteria goes hand in hand with the aesthetics of Christmas. Now, that doesn't mean snow. A film can be snowy without being Christmassy and vice versa. We are talking more decorations, lights, candy cane stripes, that sort of thing. And of course, obviously, Die Hard gets this as well because of the party's decorations. And there's barely even anything to it if we're being honest. Again, it's the template. We're not proving anything by pointing it out with Die Hard. The holiday also has to play a part in the narrative. Not necessarily a big part, but it has to tie in at least a little. With our case study, Die Hard would still work as a film if it were a New Year's party or a major event for the Nakatomi company, like celebrating 50 years of success or something, but it would no longer count as a Christmas film. It's the same way that in Elf, Will Ferrell's buddy is reconnecting with his birth father and family as the main plotline. Sure, the Christmas elements are more tightly intertwined with that story than Die Hard, but still, a man connecting with his father is a simple way to explain Elf in the same way a cop stops terrorists is a way to describe Die Hard. I do not think that this is the best analogy, but I do think my point is made. The last criteria I want to set is on how all of the films end. I think to qualify as a Christmas film and not be a film set at Christmas, the ending has to be a positive one. Not necessarily a schmaltzy one, but definitely not a downer. It also should have people connecting or reconnecting or just generally coming together. Christmas is a holiday you should be celebrating with your loved ones, and we should see that in the movies about it. Die Hard ends with McClane defeating Gruber and his gang, then reconnecting with his estranged wife Holly. These elements are ones that, like I said, are found in traditional Christmas films as well as Die Hard. They're there from It's a Wonderful Life, to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, to Bad Santa. So with these criteria set, what are a few of the unconventional Christmas movies that we can hold up to it? So I'm getting these non-traditional Christmas films from a few lists online, as well as responses on a community post I made here on YouTube. Maybe you can subscribe, get involved in the community notes, maybe help make the videos even better. Think about it. Let's begin with an easy one, Gremlins. It has all the narrative and aesthetic elements right down to the ending. You could argue against the ending because Gizmo is taken away, but that is what's best for him. Billy, Kate, and his parents are still together, and there is a hopefulness towards them seeing Gizmo again. Gremlins the New Batch is not a Christmas movie. Duh. Why are you even asking that? Keeping with the horror vibes, we have Krampus. While the ending is a little bit dark, with Krampus keeping an eye on the family, it does end with them together, hopefully learning to be better people, even if it is out of fear. But if you think that horror movies shouldn't count as Christmas movies, we have Black Christmas. While it does have a Christmas aesthetic to it, and obviously is set at that time, the ending definitely isn't gonna land here. It is the quintessential Laskell ending, with the implications that the killer is still around. Spoilers? I see a lot of people say that Harry Potter, specifically the first few, are Christmas movies. And just no. Sure, they are snowy and those first two have purely happy endings, but Christmas is such a small part of the story, even by my criteria for this. Christmas is really just there because 1, the movies cover the entire year, and 2, the first story needs a bit of time where most of the students aren't around. These get called Christmas movies in particular because people watch them around Christmas. And that makes sense too because those first two came out in November leading into the holiday season. Not to mention that they get marathons this time of year on TV a lot. When movies play on TV is a point made by my friend who runs the Backlog channel, link below. They bring this up about several films not based on books by a TERF. Willow and the Princess Bride don't hit the criteria. These are personal Christmas movies over non-traditional, and that is a whole different conversation. I'm not going to grade people's personal experiences, not this year anyways. This also counts for Lord of the Rings, and yes, I've seen memes. Also, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch these films around the holidays. I think if you have some time off for Christmas, taking that opportunity to binge a comfort series is great. I didn't remember to put a transition in the script here, so we're just moving on now. Friday After Next qualifies hitting all the points enough and is crazy because it has to be the only third film in a franchise to be a Christmas movie when the others aren't. But let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. The person who mentioned Friday After Next also mentioned Goodfellas, and that one is a no for me, dog. Well, yeah, it has a scene that is really good, set in Christmas. That's too isolated overall to count. And don't get me started on that goddamn ending.
We here at the Greg Norton channel would like to issue a statement. We view Goodfellas as a masterpiece, and the tone of our host at this moment does not reflect our views of the film as a whole. Thank you for understanding.
One of my favorite films, not just on this list, but in general, is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and I'm giving that one the title of Christmas movie. Right from the beginning, we establish RDJ's character with him robbing a toy store for presents for his family, firmly tying it into the holiday. The aesthetic twists the Christmas look for its noir genre, like the horror films mentioned before. And the ending, Harry going to work for Perry, is kind of a happy ending that this needs to really qualify. Personally, and don't crucify me here, I'd say this is more Christmas than Die Hard. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang writer-director Shane Black has put Christmas into several of his screenplays, using it as a counterpoint to his noir crime thriller elements. So let's go through them all quickly. It begins with Lethal Weapon, that in a way feels like the model for these kinds of films. It has the aesthetic, and is the quintessential snowless Christmas movie. It takes place during the holiday season, and ends with Murtaugh and his family hosting Riggs for Christmas dinner. It's all there, and is probably the movie in this video that most closely feels like Die Hard, just not confined to a single location. Then we have The Long Kiss Goodnight, which feels in league with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang in terms of its Christmas vibes. It deals more in the juxtaposition between the holiday and the film's tone, while Kiss Kiss is more of a twisting of Christmas into noir. Long Kiss also has a mother and daughter reuniting at the end, and that is classic Christmas happy ending. Iron Man 3, a movie I am a lot more forgiving of than others because I dig all the Shane Blackisms in there, also hits most of the marks here. Christmas doesn't play too much into the story though. I feel like it is a bit more set dressing than the others. I won't give it the pass, but I would not argue with someone who would, it's Christmas enough. Finally, we have The Nice Guys. Obviously it fails, as Christmas is an Easter egg at the end. I'm mostly mentioning it for the sake of completion. Also, just because I'm on it, The Nice Guys doesn't fit into the ending criteria either, and I'm gonna explain why. While Holland and Jackson do go into business together, feeling like a coming together ending, it isn't happy. Between the conspiracy being covered up and Jackson picking up drinking again, it isn't remotely happy in the grand sense of things. For the record, I love the ending. Perfect for the movie that it is, but I just don't think it fits the criteria of this video. Also, give me the sequel, please. And like I said, I don't think the ending needs to be schmaltzy, but I do think this is a step too far away from that. I forgot about Batman Returns. Batman Returns is another one of these that I think fails because of its ending. It's just a little too downbeat for the criteria I've set here.
Well, come what may. Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Al.
which is too bad because I do think that the rest of the movie does a great job taking Christmas as an aesthetic, fitting it into the aesthetic of the film, and incorporating it into the plot nicely without it being too overbearing, in my opinion. Like, it's there a lot, but it should be because it is the holiday season. But like I said, I just think that that ending does not fit our needs for this video. Lastly, we have probably the most distant film to cover, the classic Stanley Kubrick erotic mystery psychological drama film, Eyes Wide Shut. While it is a dark, moody film surrounding a turbulent marriage and a sex cult, it doesn't feel like it would be a Christmas movie, but it hits all the points. Christmas plays a big part in the setup of the plot, with the Harfords attending a Christmas party, and we still see decorations all across scenes in the movie because it is during the season. While so much of the film feels so dark, it does end with its version of a happy ending, where Kidman's character suggests their reconciliation in a way that ties into the film's overall tone and themes. It is the most, to use the title of the video, unconventional Christmas movie. God, I hope I don't end up having to change the title. That ends this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure that there are more that I missed, so leave them in the comments below, and if I can, I'll see if they pass the test. Also, do you guys like my background? I got a little tree, which is my actual apartment's Christmas tree, because my cats would, destroy an actual tree, real or fake, and all the presents, which are actual Christmas presents for my family. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, have a good one.